knew then her future was not going to be very bright, bruh. Now, a lot of people was kind of surprised by this. I'm not, because I know, you know what I'm saying, what she did to Caitlin Clark was completely unnecessary, and I'm here to tell you guys she's living with that decision today because she is without a job.
Chennedy Carter's reckless action against Caitlin Clark was more than just a foul. It marked a significant downfall in her career. Now, she's facing the consequences. No job, a tarnished reputation, and a future in the WNBA that seems uncertain. Some may downplay it as a minor push, but the reality is clear. The Chicago Sky wasted no time in letting her go. No core designation, no contract, just a swift exit. It's hard to imagine going from being a rising star to quickly becoming sidelined.
Breaking news, hot off the press. It looked like the push that was heard around the world has cost WNBA player Chennedy Carter her career.
But should we be shocked? Carter has built a track record of poor choices throughout her career. She's already alienated multiple teams, and this time she crossed the line. 3 teams, no lessons learned, and now she's out of opportunities.
When Tyler Marsh did the press conference, he talked about Angel Reese, he talked about Cardoso, who I think is going to be a star in the WNBA, but he did not really mention Chennedy Carter at all, and that raised a lot of eyebrow.
Honestly, what did she expect? You can't just shove the face of the WNBA, the league's biggest star, and think there won't be consequences. Caitlin Clark isn't just any player. She's the league's biggest asset, the top attraction in women's basketball. As for Carter, she's now the most controversial free agent in the league. Teams are avoiding her.
I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
The situation was a total fiasco for Carter, and we're about to dive into exactly what went wrong. The Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever game was already charged with tension, emotions were running high, and the stakes were obvious. Clark was playing her usual dominant game, while Carter was struggling. Then, out of nowhere, she completely lost control.
Push right there was that right there, I believe, was the push that altered her career. And I'm telling you right now, it is not looking good for Chennedy Carter.
She didn't just make a hard foul. She outright shoved Clark, all while shouting something reckless, solidifying her place on every WNBA team's do not sign list. It was a total meltdown, an impulsive action that was only amplified by the fact that it was all happening in front of a live audience. The crowd was shocked, the players were stunned, and one by one, every WNBA coach watching mentally removed Carter's name from consideration.
She took it upon herself to put her filthy thug hands on WNBA player Caitlin Clark.
The footage of that moment is hard to watch. You can hear the shock in the crowd. One scout who was courtside told us, "I'd never seen anything like it." It wasn't just the push, it was the frustration behind it. That's not what we want in this league. And Clark's reaction? That made it even more unforgettable. You could see the confusion on her face, but she couldn't even process what had just happened. Later, Clark said, "For a second, I just stood still, felt the shove, and thought, wow, really?" And that's the problem for Carter. This wasn't just a heated moment, it became a defining one.
Calling someone the B word while literally freaking winding up for a cheap shot. Yeah, that has to be taken into account. And then after the cheap shot, staring over and saying something before walking away. Like, you can't give, like, that is 3 separate technical foul occasions.
Here's the real issue. Carter wasn't just reckless, she was unapologetic. That's what sealed her fate. The crowd immediately turned on her, hooing louder than they had all night. Everyone in that arena knew exactly what they'd just seen, and it wasn't just the fans who took notice. WNBA scouts, executives, and decision-makers were in the building, and some of the biggest names in the sport watched this disaster unfold in real time. The reaction? It wasn't good.
Right.
You're jealous.
Bigger
that
rings.
was a Bush League play, and it needs to be addressed. That was a flagrant foul. That was unnecessary. Flagrant, anything deemed to be unnecessary. I need somebody to explain to me, why was that necessary?
One scout, who has been instrumental in signing some of the league's top players, put it simply, it's not just the shove, it's the attitude afterward. In this league, we want players who can handle pressure and be role models. Carter showed the exact opposite. That's not someone you want leading your franchise. Let's be real, Carter didn't just push Caitlin Clark. She pushed her career over the edge. At this point, it's uncertain if anyone is willing to catch her on the way down. Carter had a golden chance to do some damage control. She could have owned up to it, apologized, or at least acknowledged what happened. But instead, she stood in front of reporters, shrugged it off, and lied, saying, "I didn't say anything on the play before bumping into Caitlin."
Turned to you a little bit after the few
I
score.
answered no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything. That's enough.
Kind of on the play before bumping in with Caitlin.
As y'all heard there, man, Chennedy Carter let it be known she was not answering any Caitlin Clark questions. And I'm telling you right now, she probably wished she should have, because she's without a job.
Seriously, that was her response? No remorse, no accountability, just pure denial. Did she honestly think ignoring the problem would make it go away? Spoiler alert, it didn't disappear. It only got worse. You might be thinking, okay, but she's a talented player, right? Surely that counts for something. Well, guess what? It doesn't. Not when you're burning bridges everywhere. The Chicago Sky made that crystal clear when their general manager issued a bombshell statement about Carter's future with the team, and let's just say, it wasn't exactly a vote of confidence.
Chennedy Carter had an incredible season for us last year, but in a statement provided by the Chicago Times, she's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level. In our league, we absolutely appreciate what she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and will make changes to our rosters. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
The Sky front office didn't just question Carter's value on the court. They flat out excluded her from their future plans. They made it clear that how she fits with the team mattered more than her stats. And that, folks, is code for she's a locker room problem. But wait, it gets better. Remember Carter's supposed ally, Angel Reese? The one who was supposed to have her back? Well, it looks like even Reese is distancing herself. How do we know? Reese just unfollowed Carter on social media. Now, before you brush that off as nothing, let's be honest. In today's world, that's the digital equivalent of slamming the door in someone's face. It's a glaring sign that says, locker room drama incoming.
I mean, look, maybe she's part of the culture problem. But that's very interesting. You know, I assumed, I'm not going to lie to you, I assumed the Chicago Sky was going to bring her back.
And it's not just Reese. Sources inside the Sky organization are saying that multiple teammates are done with Carter, with some even pushing for her to be gone before next season. Can you imagine? 1 minute you're supposed to be a franchise star, and the next your own teammates don't even want you in the building. And then there's the real gut punch. The Chicago Sky didn't just bench Carter. They refused to even offer her a qualifying contract. Let that sink in.
Chennedy Carter not getting an offer from the Sky means one thing. Someone influential in the locker room did not want her on the team. You never let your best offensive player and arguably your best player walk away from nothing unless there are locker room issues.
I mean, she can score. She can score with the lights out. I mean, she can. She's pure offense, a pure shooting guard, scoring guard, an instant offense. But if you're a team, do you really want her on the team? I wouldn't.
Everybody talk about other NBA, WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came along.
Whereas no team wants the cancer in the locker room. Okay, so that raises a great question. Is anybody going to want her? Maybe that's the best question. I mean, certainly there's real attitude issues.
What Annie Cristobal stated as well. No qualifying offer sent out to Chennedy Carter means she will be a free agent to test the market as an unrestricted free agent beginning tomorrow. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of people and a lot of owners is not finna pick her up because of her attitude. One said, whoa, she must really had a bad attitude. Caitlin Clark is the reason these ladies is potentially, allegedly, possibly about to get the biggest payday of their lifetime. With the NBA stepping in to help them get this new collective bargaining agreement potentially done. Then we got the media rights agreement done, which is like $3 or $2 billion. That money could possibly help them get larger contracts. And what Chennedy Carter put her filthy palms on Caitlin Clark did not help her case.